So if you have any questions or have any concerns, feel free to chat, and I will manage the chat during the session. And then I'd like to introduce Jennifer O'Connell. We're so very lucky to have her join us today. She is a children's picture book author and illustrator. She has several, well, and you've also done an adult book too, haven't you? Your whale book. But I thought it was wonderful when I was learning about Jennifer. One of her books was a library book that I had read to my grandson in Colorado a while ago. 10 Little Ghosts in a Haunted House. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer. Welcome, and let her talk you through illustrating and creating your stories.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here today to talk to you about what I do and that we can all do our drawing exercise. And so I have one question for you, Marianne. So do I become a larger picture?
You are on mine, yes.
Okay.
And speaker view, you should be, yes.
Okay, so I can kind of see, gauge how I'm showing things.
Yep.
So I love writing and illustrating picture books, and really my background is in illustration though, and it's so fun to be an illustrator because every assignment is different. And I have illustrated book covers. There's one there, and here's another picture. It was a Going Places with Children in Washington, D.C. book. And I have illustrated posters. But really what I love about picture books is that I love to do a whole bunch of pictures that make the world of the story. And that is so fun to me to do that. And here's the one you were talking about, Marianne, The Eye of the Whale, yes, which is actually a crossover book. It's for young children all the way through to adults. Okay. Just this, it's a true story, a nonfiction story. But the book I want to talk to you a little bit about today is the first book that I had published where I wrote and illustrated the book. And that is the book that Marianne mentioned, 10 Timid Ghosts. And it's so neat to come up with ideas for stories. And one day I was driving my kids to school and it was October. And what are we thinking about in October? Halloween and what we're gonna be. And I always carry a little pad with me because when ideas come, you've gotta grab them and you've gotta write them down or sketch them out, maybe a little sketch. And so at red lights, I'm in the car, I'm writing down haunted house, ghosts, witch, just all the things I love about Halloween. And by the time I got home, I was thinking of this story of these ghosts that live in a haunted house. And one day a very mean witch moves in and wants them out. And one by one, she scares them out. And they're not scary ghosts, they're very timid ghosts. So it's easy to scare them out. But there's one clever ghost, and that ghost sees that it's the witch. And so at the end of the story, that ghost, they gather in the woods and she says, wait a minute, it's our house. Let's band together and scare her out. So they all form into one big ghost and scare her out. So I had to, when you're submitting a book, you have to come up with sketches. They're very rough sketches. And you put together what's called a dummy book, a pretend book, when you're submitting your story to publishers. And because you want to convince them to publish your book. And sure enough, a publisher accepted it, but they said, guess what? We're going to print it in a smaller book. So I had to redo the whole thing to be in a smaller size. And this is the dummy for that. And what you do is you do sketches in pencil and you show them how the book is going to be. And there was rhythm in this book. raise your hand, who knows about the story 10 Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed? Anybody? That's the rhythm I want. Oh, good, I see hands. 10 timid ghosts in a haunted house. A witch moved in and wanted them out. That's how I came up with the words for this story. And so, and when I showed them my sample illustration for how I wanted the witch to look. And when I was working with the publisher, they had really good feedback. And as I was planning out the book, this is what I always do. See all those spreads here? This is the whole book laid out. And so I need to figure out what's the beginning, what's the middle, what's the end. And I need to figure out how I am going to tell that story in this 32-page book. And one of the things that was an issue, it was that, you know, the part where I was telling you in the story, the ghosts all get together and scare the witch out? Well, this was my first picture for it. And they did not like that. And the reason they didn't like it is it just looks like one big ghost, right? It doesn't look like 10 ghosts scaring her out. So then I did this sketch. And the reason, guess what they said about this one? Too scary. Those teeth would scare young children. So I couldn't go with that one. So then I went with this one. And they said, that one looks like a snake. So that's scary again. So I had to do another one. And here's the one I ended up with. So look, here I am, a professional illustrator. It took me many times to get it right. And I'll show you the final illustration here. Here's the final painting for that illustration. So the other big thing that they helped me with were the ghosts. Because in the sketches that I showed them in my dummy, this is what the ghosts look like. And they all look the same, right? They all look the same. They said, well, there's a clever ghost in your story. How do we know which one is the clever ghost? And I realized that I needed to make each ghost different. And so I did all those bumps and I made them all look different like this in very simple lines. And all of a sudden they each had their own personality. And it's just an example of when you work with the team at the publisher, they help you make your drawings better. And so here is the final book here. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to sketch some characters. We're going to sketch what they're feeling, and we're going to see what stories develop with our sketches. And so what I'd like everyone to do is I'd like you to get your paper. And before we go further, Marianne, I am like one of the gallery, the small pictures. Is there a way of making me the bigger picture? Okay. So what I'd like everyone to do is to fold your paper in half this way.
Jennifer, I'm sorry, maybe you should click speaker view.
Oh, okay, so.
And then you'll see that you are the bigger one. And that's what we've all done. Instead of you don't want gallery, you want speaker.
Okay, so stop. Well, where does it say speaker view? Because I'm by my name and it says.
When you're in gallery. Mine says gallery, but you're the biggest one, and then the gallery is over to the right.
Oh, okay, so, but I'm not seeing myself as a speaker. Oh, I see it, speaker view. Okay.
There you go, Marianne.
Oh, that's so weird because I can't see myself as a speaker view,
Uh-huh.
but
Everybody else, give me a thumbs up if you've got speaker view and you're seeing Jennifer as the largest. Good. Looks like
okay,
everybody
so
does.
we can just go with it like this.
Okay,
That's fine.
great.
So did everybody fold their paper like this in half? Great. Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is fold it the long way in half, like this. Okay. Okay, great. So now we've got 4 squares. We have 4 areas. And does everybody have their pencil? Great. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do, in the center of each one of these areas, I'd like you to draw a round shape. And notice I am not saying no perfect circles, because these are just going to be heads. It can be any old shape. So we're going to do circle, round shape, round shape, round shape. And when you're done with that step, hold your pencil up. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to go circle, circle, half circle. Okay, now we're going to go circle, circle, circle. Okay, now we're going to go circle, circle, dot. Oh, okay, okay. And now we're going to go half circle, half circle, half circle. Great. Great. Okay. So now we're going to go dot, dot, line, line, half circle. Okay. Now we're going to go dot, dot, line, line. Okay, now we're going to go curvy line, dot, dot, and we got that dot. Okay, and now we're going to go dot, dot, line, line. Okay, fantastic. Is everybody on board here? Okay, okay. So now let's talk about the first character. What is that character feeling? Kind of mad, right? Kind of angry. Do you see that in your character on your paper? That's so good. And what we can do is, adding a nose and ears, we can make it, you can make it into your own character. For example, I can add teeth and I can add dog ears, and I can add a collar and, oh, and a nose, and I've got an angry dog. So now what about this character? What is that character feeling? Surprised. Oh my gosh. Something's happening with that character, right? So let's see, what are you going to make that character into? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a flip fin and a fin here, and I'm going to kind of make it into a fish. So, is everybody coming along with that? Just kind of playing with this? What about this character? Kind of worried, right? That character is concerned about something. And you can really tell from these lines here. And let's see, I think I'm going to add a nose and some ears and hair and maybe even a mustache. And a shirt. And there we've got somebody very worried, that man. Okay, what about this character here? What is that character feeling? Happy, joyful, excited. And so let's see, what can we make that character? What are you going to make that character into? Here's an example. You can add, I think I'm going to do a bear. There's the nose. Here's some ears. And I'm going to do collar. Okay, so we've got a happy bear. Now, how's everybody coming with your sketches?
We need a minute.
Are we doing okay?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, so now what I want to talk to you about is the why and the what if. And that's where stories come in. Because for example, let's look at the mad dog. Why is that dog mad? Why is that dog angry? And with the background around the dog, we can create a story. So, okay, so let's say I'm just going to put in a city. Very simply. And what if he's lost in the city? Oh my gosh, he's lost in the city. And that could be why he's mad.
Can I ask you a quick question? Should we be drawing along at this point, or should we just be watching you?
Why don't you just watch me? And then we're going to have some time after this where you can put in your backgrounds.
Okay. Great idea. Thank you.
Good clarification, Marianne. Okay, another reason he could be mad is that there could be a cat around. And the cat stole his bone. And so the cat is running away and has the bone in its mouth. And the cat is just running away down the road, and that dog is mad. So all of a sudden we have a story, and we can think about the cat steals the bone, the cat's running away. Does that dog catch the cat? Do they become friends in the end? Does it have a happy ending, a sad ending? Okay, the fish. Why is that fish surprised? How about, now I know some of you drew sharks last week, so why don't we put a shark in it? So I'm gonna do a kind of simplified shark here. And oh my gosh, there's a shark in the water, and that shark is hungry, and that fish is going, we've got to get out of here. So all the fish are swimming away. And we want to make this setting of the fish, it could be along the ocean floor. So we might be doing some plant life on the ocean floor. We might do some shells here, a starfish. But all of a sudden, we have a story. Does the fish get away? Does the shark catch the fish? Who knows? It's all what we make up in our story. Okay, why is that young man distressed and kind of worried? Here's an idea. What if he's lost in a snowstorm and there's snow all around him and it's blowing and he doesn't have his winter clothes and he's freezing. And so how did he get in that snowstorm? That could be our story. Why is that bear happy? Let's see. Okay, why is your character going to be happy? How about, okay, I have an idea. It's a birthday party. And I'm going to do a cake with candles here and decorations. And, oh, what's a birthday party without some presents, right? So I'm just going to do a square here with some wrapping and some, and also balloons. How about some balloons? And what could the story be around that? I know, maybe she didn't think she was going to have a birthday party and somebody surprised her. Her friend surprised her. So what I'd like you to do right now is, why don't you pick one of your squares, one of your characters, or all of them, whatever you want to do, and why don't we have some time where we're working on our sketches and then we'll do some sharing. Does anyone have any questions? Fayemi? Oh. We're gonna have to unmute.
Yep. There you go, Fayemi. You can ask your question now.
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Oh, for the birthday?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
What about, let's see, a bowl of with cherries? Okay. Or maybe even, how about a cone? And he's holding the cone or something. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Jessica.
Are you,
Hi,
you have
I love those sketches. It's fabulous. The stories are good. I just want to make sure. I love doing this. And these sketches right here is very good.
They are very good. Oh my
And
God.
I like yours as well.
Well, that's what's so neat about this project is that we're all doing similar things, but your characters are unique to you. Like each one of our sketches is a neat new character. So I can really see the feelings.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for showing.
Sure.
And are you have you decided about a background for one of them? Like what you're gonna put around the character?
I decided to do a fish.
Oh, good.
Because it reminds me of a song called Baby Shark.
I love that song.
Shark. That's a good song. I think I learned it from my first job with the kids, so.
I've come up with something.
What did you come up with, Chris?
Essentially, I've inspired this from Warriors. You know, the series about a pack of cats?
Oh.
This is a dog chasing after one of said cats. cats. It's got a fish in its mouth, and because dogs hate cats, it's chasing after them. That man is his owner, and he's attempting to find him as he's gotten lost in the woods.
Are you tying all of them together into one story?
Nah, the third one is just miscellaneous.
Okay.
The bears found a bunch of honeycombs.
That's great.
Oh, fantastic. All these different plots.
I know.
So really, it's that's great that you're working on the sketches, and I find that when I'm working on a story, I carry a little sketchbook around with me, and sometimes things happen with just sort of doodling around, playing around.
Anybody have any questions? Amy? Yes?
Looking on playground.
Are you making your backgrounds?
Yes.
Yes, good. Do you want to show us what you've got so far?
Yes. Our communications.
Can you hold up your picture?
Yes.
Oh, you're doing
Wow. Whoa. I can really feel those feelings in your characters.
Yes.
Very exciting. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
You want to share what's going on with one of the characters? Oh, wow. Look at that. Very nice. You can really see the different feelings of those characters. And
Who else is ready to, anybody else to show a little bit? Al?
Yeah, here.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you doing some backgrounds now on your characters?
Yep.
Good, okay. Develop some good stories. They're great.
I know, I'm really impressed. Do you have any questions, Marianne?
Could we, after we have our backgrounds and we've developed a little bit of a story, could we add some color to our pictures?
Oh, yeah, of course, that would be great. Are there colors on hand?
Probably not, but we could do that later.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic idea. That's great. I mean, one thing I can show you, let's see. When I'm working on my illustrations, I use acrylics. And you want to see what my palette looks like?
Oh, look at that, all those different colors.
It's a special palette that has a sponge underneath that you dampen because acrylics dry very quickly. And so it has a top that you put on it to keep the paints wet. Because paints are expensive, so.
Anybody else ready to share their sketches and their stories?
I think we might still be working on them.
Okay, we're good.
I got mine.
Oh. Oh.
So it's not really good because I'm doing it from my recipes. Sorry. So I can tell you, since you can't really see it very well.
Great.
I'd love to hear.
The one that the first one is when the dog is lost. What Jennifer was saying, like lost in New York City. The second one, he's worried about getting a job, like or going on the snowstorms too. The other one is swimming in the sea.
Oh,
And the other one is playing tennis out in the courts.
oh, I love how you tied that into one of your passions, Nadia. That's so
Yeah. I mix it up a little bit.
Good. And it was almost like you had titles for each of your stories.
Yes. I just think of something and then I just popped it in my head.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing.
Sure. I will mute myself.
And when, you know, when you're making your backgrounds and making your stories, you're thinking of the situation, like maybe your character is in the ocean and there's something going on. You might want to think about, how does my story end? Like, does the character get away? How does it get away? Is it a happy ending or a sad ending? And you want to kind of plan out, because when you're making up a story, you want your reader to wonder what's going to happen. And that's what's kind of exciting about figuring out how your story is going to be. And that's what I love about fiction, making up stories.
Ulrich, how are you doing? Your picture's coming along?
Boy, I'm glad you guys are working on the sketches.
Show us. I'm having trouble unmuting you. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. Okay. Hold it up a little bit closer to the. Oh, good. That's awesome.
Oh. Can you hold it up a little more? Oh, wow. Look at that. I love seeing the details. Good details. And
Back to
you
work.
want to share what one of your characters is feeling?
I sort of copied your idea of the snowstorm, and I was going to color it in.
Fantastic. And what's so neat is that your snowstorm is unique to you. I mean, it's a whole different thing. It's your story, and I love that. Great sketching, guys.
Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
Who else? Anybody else ready to share? Oh,
I think we got some.
hard workers. Jessica, can you unmute yourself? Oh, look at. There you go.
I did my sketch.
Look at your
I
background.
did, yes, I like it because I did this with a pool and a sunscreen and sun. But this one's a fish with waves.
With waves.
But this one has, ocean waves. In New York with a house
Oh.
and a door with paperwork that's working.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, I'm seeing some great characters and some neat situations. Neat
Mikey, you
stories.
want to show yours? You
I've got a little cloud. I've got some faces here, and I've got some kind of lamp near his character, but he can't see the lamp, so it's a little bit like, oh, man, the lamp is off. So that's
But lots of different faces and lots of different
Yes.
emotions. That's fun. Awesome. Are you going to do some backgrounds now in those? Good. Faith, you're going to share with us. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Can you see it?
Yep.
Hmm?
See it.
Oh boy, he's mad. Tell us about your character.
The cat ate his food.
Oh, and it's
Food.
a cat involved. Oh, did the cat do something?
The cat ate his food.
Oh boy, he's mad. That's a good story.
Thank you.
And did he go without any food that day then? Or did he find some other food? We'll see what happens. So have we covered everybody with
Not
anybody
quite yet.
else?
Matthew, are you still working or do you have something to share? You want to unmute yourself, please?
I don't have one right now, but I'll do mine like later.
Okay, that's fine, Matthew.
I want to do like my own on Flash later.
Okay,
Yeah.
you like Flash.
Yeah.
I'm still working on mine,
Great.
Okay,
but I want to show the one of the squares. I'm done with. I had added color to the man with I made it to be a thunderstorm instead of a snowstorm. I
Oh,
want to show it's not totally done, but wait, hold on.
oh.
oh wow,
Oh
you
my
are
God.
adding color already.
He
I
looks
added color to that one. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Lots of detail and color work.
I
Yeah.
like the lightning bolts.
And
How
I'm
did-
getting the rain in there now, adding some heavy rain.
How did he end up outside in a thunderstorm?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't get back to his house, and he was far away from his house, and
Oh,
he didn't have a way to get home in time,
Ooh.
inside his house.
that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
How do you think your story ends? Does somebody come to help him?
Someone takes drives a big pickup truck, or maybe a bus or something, or a pickup truck or some other car, and picks him up and takes him to some shelter or some house to save him.
That's
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
I love it.
that's great. Because he looks really afraid and worried in your picture. So I'm glad it has a happy ending.
Yeah. Right.
Neat. Boy, you all have really great ideas. It's exciting to hear them.
Jennifer, are you working on any books now?
I am. I'm working on a book right now about a man who had an amazing way with elephants.
Oh.
So, would you like to see a picture from it?
I'd love to see a picture.
Yeah.
Everybody else?
And I've been having trouble with the word. It's a true story, and I've been having trouble with it, the words. So I just decided to go ahead and make some pictures, to kind of inspire myself.
Well, this is exciting. We get to see the pictures before the book comes out.
Here's a picture. And the elephants were not happy elephants. And they broke out of every enclosure in South Africa. And their last chance was this one man at his reserve. And he had a way with animals. And basically, they broke out of his reserve, and they had one last chance to keep them in this temporary pen. And he decided to live with them until they trusted him. And so this is the picture of where he's, I don't know if you can see him, he's there, and they're very upset that he was there, and they just wanted to leave and escape. And but he talked to them, and he lived with them, and he finally got through to the matriarch, the head. And after they were let out, you can see the man here. When she had her baby elephant, when she had her calf, she brought the calf to his yard for him to see.
Meet him, aw.
And there's a moment, I'm not done with this picture yet, but there's a moment, they were in this enclosure where she comes to the fence and she weaves her trunk through. And he had to make the decision, do I go up to her? Or because a trunk, she could just hurt him very badly with the trunk. And he just felt like he needed to go. He walked up to her, and she put her trunk in the palm of his, touched him.
Oh.
And that was the signal that it was okay to let them out into the larger reserve. So anyway, it's
That's wonderful. The illustrations are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
How did you find that story, that true story?
It's actually a book that you can read. There are two books. It's called The Elephant Whisperer, and it's written by Lawrence Anthony. And then they did a middle grade book of The Elephant Whisperer for younger kids, but there just has never been a picture book about it.
Okay.
That's the hard part, because it's already a book, But what's really amazing is this small herd survived, and then they stayed on his reserve, and they became 26. Like more troubled elephants came, and they had babies, and it was a large herd, but he distanced himself from them, and years passed, and unfortunately he died. He was away on a trip, he died, and the family gathered at the house. 2 days later, every single elephant walked in a procession and arrived at the house.
They knew.
They knew. And nobody knows how they knew.
Animals are amazing.
And the challenging part is, how do I make this, like, remember I was showing my storyboard? How do I make this into a picture book?
How do you tell that story in pictures?
Yeah, so it's been years. I've been working on this for a long time. And I have other ideas too.
Awesome.
I wonder, does anyone have any questions about making picture books? Any thoughts or?
I'm going to unmute everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything to share or any questions? All right, well, I hope that you'll all continue your work on your pictures, your sketches, and your stories. And then even after we're done, I hope you'll send them to us to share.
Okay.
That would be fantastic.
I would love to see them, and we can post them even if you'll give us permission. We'd love to, if you're inspired by the illustrations you did today, you can write us to go along with the illustration. That's another great idea.
So it's very exciting to see all the sketches and the ideas coming out of them.
The talent and the different ideas, yeah, it's great. Well, I hope you'll all stay on the line for a minute and do one of Main Street's quick polls. Let us know what you think about today's session. Jennifer, thank you so very much for spending your time with us and telling.
It was my pleasure.
Oh, we had a great time. We enjoyed it greatly.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
Same here.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
me too, yes.
you guys were great.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And there's our poll.
I answered it.
Okay,
Answered
thank
it.
you.
Me too.
Yay.
Thanks,
Well,
Jennifer.
I'll see you guys around.
Bye,
See ya.
we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great
Drawing.
weekend. No, we got 14 to
Bye.
14, so we did great. Everybody thought it was great. Jessica, thanks for coming with us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's great. I really like it a lot.
Good.
Good drawing.
Thanks.
Keep going. Keep it up. Keep
Yeah.
it up.
Gabriel, be sure you send us your finished products.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the two on the far right. I'm almost done with the bear and the birthday. I
Okay.
actually have ice cream too.
Oh. Well, there's no rush. Take your time.
Oh, really? Keep going.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's almost. Yeah, I added color. Starting to add color to all of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
thank you.
Super.
Doreen,
I like
enjoy the-
making art too.
I can tell.
Mm.
Did you
Good.
enjoy it? Yes, today? Good, we can't see you.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
okay. I like to focus on young people. My son is the artist in the family, but he's not big on computers and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But my husband's a lawyer.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Worried because he's in jail, wrongly
Oh,
accused.
Oh.
That's a great story. Go with it.
And I like the wrongly accused part.
Well,
Yes,
with
yeah.
all the stuff in the news lately about the police and all that stuff, I just kind of, and my husband does defense work, or used to.
Uh-huh.
So that just made me think, and I'm not much of an artist, so drawing straight lines was easy.
Oh,
That was
I love your character.
Thanks.
Mm.
Hardest part is coming up with ideas.
Yep.
Our son is always doodling, and I've practically begged him to turn his creations into a graphic novel with me, but he just likes to doodle.
Yeah.
Get to that place of, all right, I've got these characters, what do I do? So this was very helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's all about the what if. The what if.
Mhm.
You know, let's try this, let's try, and I
Yeah.
think doodles, like a big, huge story can be overwhelming, but to take small chunks, okay,
Yeah.
what's going to happen next? Just sort of work your way.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Mm.
But,
Good.
Thank you so much.
oh, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody, I'm gonna
Yep.
close
All
down
right.
the meeting.
Bye.
Bye.
Thumbs up.
Keep drawing.
Jennifer, thank
Love
you.
drawing with you.
We'll talk to you
Me
soon.
too.
Okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.